Hova. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Can you hear me? Mic check. Huh? I can't hear you, brother. Mic check. Mic check. What's going on? Mic check. Over. Can you hear me? You might you have your check a button. So sometimes you press a button, you might have muted yourself. Check that top microphone red.
Testing one.
There you go. I got you. I hear you. I hear you now.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
All right, man. Sorry about that, man. I was having some technical problems, man. So what I'm gonna do is I had to restart. We're actually live.
Yes, we are.
I'm going to go ahead and resend the link out. I don't know if the link I sent out that anyone can actually, yeah, they can't see.
Yeah, you gonna send it out again?
Yeah, let me send it out again.
Yeah, so everybody can
Yeah, cause that one ended.
okay. Yeah. Send
Yeah, so let me send it out. Let me
yeah,
send that out.
yeah, and say new link
Yeah.
and hook it up.
So I'm
How to
gonna.
hook them up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was. Yeah. Hook it up. So I'm gonna hook them up. Yeah, man. Yeah,
There-
that was. No, I'm doing it now.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. And yeah, so there we go.
Yeah. Yep. It just came through.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Just came through. So you
Okay.
about to send another one, right?
Yeah, I just sent it out, and yeah, everything should be getting back on track. Yeah, I sent. I
Good
didn't.
stuff.
Yeah, I sent the new link out. Yeah, everyone should have it. Yeah. So I sent it to you, I think, 2 times. So
Yep.
we should be good on it now. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see we got a few people watching now.
All right, good stuff.
So yeah, we good now. Um, Go ahead, man. I'll let you go ahead and
Yeah.
do the introductions.
All right, since we all good and married, if like what the preacher say, if our hearts and heads and minds are clear, give me some money. So hey, we got a packed show. We may run a little bit over tonight. We usually run from 9 o'clock to 10:30, but we may run over a couple of minutes late since we're a little bit late getting started. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you hang in there with us tonight. Action packed. We're gonna talk about NBA. There was All-Star weekend that we want to get into. A lot happened with the skills challenge and the whole rigmarole and stuff that they do every year from year to year. But we want to talk about that, not just about who won, but what do you think about what is the NBA's All-Star game rank with the big four, with football, hockey, baseball, basketball? Where do they rank in terms of enjoyment, spectator enjoyment? So we want to get into that. Also, we want to talk about football. You know, we got a little football going on. There was some Kaepernick news right after I think last week sometime right after we had a day after the show, some news that dropped about Kaepernick in the NFL. We want to talk about that. We want to talk about the AAF. Are you watching this stuff, man? I mean, do you like it? Do you not like it? What don't you like? What do you like about the AAF? So we want to talk about that just a little bit. and that will be in the second hour, I guess, of the show. Falcons talk. There's some Falcons news about. We did make a move, so Falcons are making all-season moves. I said I was going to turn over a new leaf, in terms of the Falcons. So I always like to tell it like it is, but I'm going to turn over a new leaf. So I'm not going to always tell it like it is. I'm going to turn over a new leaf and be kinder and gentler, bred. So y'all bear with me. So we're going to get into some other sports. We're going to talk about Atlanta United FC. Got a big game coming up tomorrow in Costa Rica. Yeah. Let's go Atlanta United. So we definitely want to talk about our boys and support them while they are abroad. Braves, hey, spring training has started and Braves are getting back into it, but have we made enough off-season moves, or are we all right? Okay, we want to get into the Braves talk a little bit if time permits. There's a little boxing news about Tyson Fury and Top Rank and all that good stuff. But if we have time, hopefully, if we have time nearing the end of the show, there's some news about who's running and new people that's running for president in 2020. We get a little politics too. We don't shy away from it. And also Jesse Smollett, the guy who plays on the show Empire.
Oh
yeah. So we definitely want to hit on that.
We definitely got to chop up on that one.
We got to chop it up on that one. So that's it. Hova, the action pack. What you got, bro?
Just real quick, man. Again, want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Bread and Hova show. We come to you guys each and every week at 9 p.m. on Wednesdays, and we got an action-packed show for you, for you guys tonight. And real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to our Facebook family out there, the Luxury Suite,
What up, Mark?
the Falcons First and 10, and then also the official Dirty Bird Nation. So we want to give a quick shout out to them guys for supporting the Bread and Hova show, and also too, I mean, this is our third show on the YouTube platform. So far, everything been moving pretty good, Brad. I think that the responses we've been getting has been great.
Sounds good.
And
scaring anybody away.
Yeah, and I think bigger things to come. Eventually we probably once it warm up a little bit, we'll try to schedule in a remote in somewhere along the way. So be looking out for that. So I guess I guess that's pretty much all the announcements. Any other announcements, Brad, you got?
That's it, bro. Let's chop it up, man. Hey, this past weekend was NBA All-Star Weekend. That's something that I've been watching for years. I've been doing that for a long time. And it used to mean something, but it has changed over the years. This past weekend, we had the skills challenge, 3-point, had slam dunk contest, and all-star game. And so the skills challenge, let me start with the skills challenge. Well, Friday night, they start with the celebrity game, which is kind of fun. It's a nice little opening kind of thing, to where, let's get the weekend started in whatever host city. It's kind of a fun thing to do and kind of a good opener. So that was pretty interesting. And I don't know who the guy who won it, some kind of YouTube guy. I don't know the guy, but he won MVP. Whatever the guy's name. But the skills challenge, I mean, that's what we all tune in for. We go in, but I mean, regardless of how many critics, there's always a critic about these games every year. But we watch it. There's no competition. I mean, it was a big college game that night, but shoot, it's boxing going on too. But the majority of us we're watching the All-Star Weekend. So you got skills challenge. And that's a new one. Skills challenge, it's been out about the last 10, 15 years, maybe the last 10 years.
Yeah.
They've kind of switched it up between your male and female, NBA, WNBA kind of a thing. So it's just males now. So it was a skills challenge to where it's kind of a basketball obstacle course where you run, pass, shoot. Run past you like a kid. And so not a lot of guys were in it, but it gave an opportunity, for some guys to shine. And so you had Luka Doncic and you had Trae Young, Atlanta Hawks. And so they will forever be tied hip to hip. Like, I don't know how good they're going to be in the long run or how bad or somewhere in between, but kind of like Magic and Bird, these guys will always be tied at the hip.
Yeah.
And so those guys, and as it turned out, they had to end up challenging each other to find out who was going to be in the championship of the skills challenge, because they both won their first round, and it just so happened that in their bracket they had to face each other. Everybody's watching, and Trae Young came out on top. I thought it was fun. I think Luka did a good job starting out, and then Trae, he used his speed to actually win the skills challenge. It looked like Luka Doncic had the lead on him, and then he it's like Trae Young threw a pass to himself,
Right.
out extended and then caught up with the pass because he was fast Luka Doncic, and he made the last shot and beat him. And so and so he ends, and I'm gonna go back to that. That Luka Doncic Trae thing, but Trae Young ends up in the championship versus Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics, and those two guys go at it. Trae Young pretty much got this guy beat for the most part, flat out, and he's been making his 3-pointers at the end of the skills challenge. Because at the end of the skills challenge, you have to make a 3-point shot. So, his shot went up, and Jason Tatum just threw up luck of the draw from half court. He was behind Trae. Trae put his shot up at the 3-point line. Jason Tatum came behind him with a desperation 3, and the momentum of his ball went faster than Trae's ball and went in before Trae's. And when his ball went in, it kind of blocked Trae's ball, and it couldn't go in. And so it was just like a photo finish.
Right.
And you talk about being lucky. You didn't get any luckier than that, because Jason Tatum couldn't do it again if you paid him to. And so, hey, luck of the draw. The guy wins. Jason Trae Young loses. It was disappointing loss, but he was in it. And for me, man, I mean, I think that the commentators, I think the commentators felt some kind of way about everybody. Seems like the media's trying to prove that the Hawks made a mistake by not getting or making the trade, because we drafted Luka Doncic and then we traded him for Trae Young, and a lot of people thought that we made a big mistake, and they think that Luka Doncic just is the better player, which I agree that maybe he's the better player right today, but Trae Young is really grown throughout the season. He's got a high ceiling, and I think that out of the deal, we got another pick. If you keep Luka Doncic, you don't get that extra pick. And the Hawks in a stronger rebuild mode than Dallas. So I think we came out on top. We ended up with 2 picks actually. So, and plus you're gonna pick again, because you're not gonna finish. You're probably not gonna make the playoffs. And so, all of that is just to say I think that the media is kind of playing up, and there was a whole special on Luka Doncic. It's just like, okay, they playing this guy up big time. I mean, all ESPN is doing is just lapping this guy up, playing up, and there was just all weekend they were lapping him up, and there've been specials and things, and no one's saying anything about Trae. And Trae's got some decent numbers. He's got real strong numbers. I mean, he's like 5th or 6th in the league in terms of assists for point guards, and so and I don't know. I think that if the Hawks had gone ahead and kept their pick with Luka Doncic, and Dallas would have ended up drafting Trae Young, I think that Trae Young would be getting a lot more hype, and I think that Luka Doncic would have been getting less hype, because the media just don't like Atlanta sports. It just don't.
Yeah. It's always been like that though, Brad. I mean the history, even with the Falcons. I mean, it's
true.
always been a tough sell for the media.
That's true.
for whatever reasons. But again, I mean, the tide is changing simply because of what's going on. Now you have, all the press has been on Atlanta sports, particularly, especially with Atlanta United doing their thing. And then with us also having this new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And not too long ago, we just recently had the Super Bowl. So, um, so it's changing gradually. Um, as far as with that, I mean, and I think it just depends. I mean, especially now with soccer's about to get ready to start up in a little bit. I think we're definitely going to be back on the scene, with the Atlanta United champions, So, um, but yeah, you bring up a good point
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah. I just noticed that with the media, it's always been that way with Atlanta. And they have certain hosts on that they go the extra mile to to take jabs at the sports city, and so I don't like it. They don't do it to anybody else, they just do it to us. And so it's just one of those things that I noticed, and so I don't appreciate it, but that's okay. I mean, I think that we made the right decision, and I think that at the end of the day, that I think Atlanta has made a good deal. So I like Travis Schlink, our GM. I think he's making a good move. I think he knows, in terms of the identity of who this team needs to be, and it starts in the draft. We're not expected, to make a big splash in free agency. And I'm turning a little bit of Hawks talk, but yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I noticed. And since we talk about Luka Doncic and Trae Young, it's just Hawks talk a little bit, mixed in. We're going to talk about it throughout, but I just think that that's just something that needs to improve. But you got to win, you got to win, and you can't choke in big games. And a lot of our teams have been known to do that, so I don't want to dwell on
Yeah, well, I mean, that's always that's always been that's always been the case.
it.
Even when you think about the Falcons this past season, I mean, they with all the injuries, but at any rate,
Yeah,
um, it's always been that way.
yeah, yeah.
It's always been that way.
But I digress. So that's the skills challenge. Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics wins that. Congrats to him. Yada yada, whatever. So go Hawks. 3-point contest, and we mentioned all the guys. It was this. I think the 3-point contest had the most participants, and the 3-point contest probably was the most popular also. And so the 3-point contest was very interesting. You had, the Curry brothers and Klay Thompson and, all your big guns. You had old school Dirk Nowitzki up in that camp. Old man was in there looking good too in the first round. So it was a crowded field. And I think that's something that people look forward to. And the thing about the 3-point contest and the skills challenge is that it's just based on skill and and who's hot, I guess. And you don't depend on a judge like the slam dunk contest. It's not subjective. I mean, your 3-point, either the ball go in or it don't. So so 3-point contest at the end of the day was between Steph Curry, no surprise there,
Yeah.
and some dude named Joe. Some dude named Joe Harris, a small forward out of the Brooklyn Nets. Like I said, some dude named Joe. And at the end of the day, Joe got hot. That's the thing about 3-pointers. When you're hot, man. And it was his night. And so Joe Harris comes away with 3-point contest, and he wins. He beats out the favorite Steph Curry. And Steph didn't do bad at all, but this guy was hot, got the money ball and everything. So I guess congrats goes out to Joe Harris. Whatever. But didn't know the guy before. I mean, look, we don't watch every game. Well, I don't watch every basketball game, but you know, especially a Brooklyn Nets game. I guess people say the same thing about the Atlanta Hawks. But you know, who the hell is Joe? You know, you let Joe come up there and beat you in a 3-point contest, but you know, it was good. It was exciting. I'm just messing with you, Joe.
but really though, who is Joe though? That's the thing though. Who is Joe?
I don't know. Joe knows 3-point shots. Your average Joe, your average 3-point Joe is who he is. I don't know, you know, but I guess next time you see the Brooklyn Nets, you gonna be looking for Joe. Like, where's that guy Joe? So, so Joe Harris, small forward of the Brooklyn Nets, he edges out Steph Curry. So,
right.
you know, I don't know anybody who picked Joe Harris, you know, outside of New York. So hey, there's that. So the event of the night for NBA All-Star Weekend was the slam dunk contest. And Hamidou Diallo, small forward out of OKC, wins it all. He had a dunk over Shaq. Shaq stood up. Everybody's pretty much singing it, and Shaq's got his back to him. Glad he didn't have his front to him. Nobody wants to be teabagged on national television like that, just in case he falls a little short. But but he dunks over Shaq and kind of hangs on the rim, kind of Vince Carter style. You know, and that's pretty much it. I think that this is my problem. Let's talk about the All-Star. I think that John Collins out of Atlanta, and yeah, we homers sometimes, but John Collins didn't miss any of his dunks. All the other, there were only 4 guys, and so that's another thing. The slam dunk contest had the least amount of participants out of all the contests.
Right.
And I remember a time when the slam dunk contest was a crowded field. You had, you know, like 15 dudes in there trying to slam dunk contest in 3 rounds and stuff. You know, you had at least 10 in a bad year.
Look here, Brad. Look, man, the slam dunk contest hasn't been the same since, you know, Dominique and Michael Jordan and all them, man. It hasn't been the same since then. I mean, you had a couple of guys here and there, but it hadn't been the same, man. And nobody really paying attention to that anymore.
Yeah, I think Vince Carter was kind of the last of it, and after Vince Carter, I think it just kind of died away a little bit. I think it was pretty good about 3 years ago. When you had Levine, that guy in it was real good. The guy had the I never forget it, man. He dunked over a mascot, but when he was in the air, it's like he sat in a chair in the air, and then he put the ball underneath his thighs and came over on the other side, slam dunked it, and looked at it at the same time. I've never ever seen a dunk like that ever in my entire life, and he lost.
Yeah,
you know, because Shaq gave him a bum score. And so, you know, folk play too much. You know, that's all that was about. The other guy has pretty good dunks too, but you know, I mean, I've never seen somebody jump high and then sit in mid-air, look like he stopped in mid-air and sat down in the air and put the ball underneath himself and slammed it on the other side. That was freaking awesome. Ever seen a dunk like that? So, but but Hova, what do we expect in the slam dunk contest? Because I mean, I tell you what I expect. I expect to see like, you know, up and coming people in names, you know, the hottest guys in the league, you know, participate with a mixture of some guys that you don't know. I think that's what it is, because you want to see a LeBron James, a Kevin Durant, you know, you want to see, you know, some other hot players in the league come in this slam dunk contest and then go at it, you know, but you don't have any known guys unless, you know, not any household names that are in the dunk contest. That's the biggest problem, number one. Number two, every last, all except for John Collins, all three of those guys that participated in the slam dunk contest, they missed their first dunk. They were missing multiple dunks. How do you miss multiple dunks and don't get a deduction in your score? It's like you get up there and do, okay, you get one, you get two, and they were missing dunks. And they still come out with like 48s and 47s. And John Collins didn't miss any dunks, which was, he was creative as could be. And they didn't give him, he didn't get any good points. The last one, the Tuskegee Airman, and when he took flight, it was just one dunk. It was one take. It was a decent dunk. And he didn't get any scores worth nothing for that dunk. They're like, whatever. And then this other guy just kept missing dunks and he wins. I don't get it. So I think that, and it has always been controversy every time you have a judge. It was controversy with Dominique and Jordan.
Yeah.
When Dominique, when the slam dunk contest and All-Star weekend was in Chicago, two of the hottest players in the league, rival players in the league, slam dunk contest, Mike was doing his thing, but everybody said that Dominique won that one. And Dominique, it's probably the best one I've ever seen in terms of two guys going at it. Dominique beat Jordan that time. And
I believe so.
And they gave it to Jordan because he was in Chicago. And
yeah.
I got many friends in Chicago. They said, yeah, Bridge, you right, man. It's like, look, Bridge, you right, man. It's like, hey, I'm a Bulls fan. They say I'm a Michael Jordan fan to the end, but Dominique won that. Everybody in Chicago know that. So take my word that everybody in Chicago knows that Dominique won it. Look, Michael Jordan got the trophy, but the fans know who won that, and that's enough for me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I felt the same way. Dominique put on a show, just as much as Jordan did, but we already know how that was going to play out. It just happened that way. But
Politics.
even till today, even until today, even Dominique was just like, you can ask anybody else who, just if you look at the dunks that were done, who did the better dunks, they're gonna say it was me. Even Dominique came out and said, they ain't gonna say it was Michael Jordan. Just the fact that Michael Jordan at that time just was Michael Jordan. You know what I mean?
But it was in Chicago.
Well, that too. That play that in itself. That speaks for itself.
Yeah. They're in Chicago, and it's just kind of like, how can you not give it to Michael Jordan with Michael Jordan being who he is in Chicago? So politics played a big role in terms of, okay, we just gonna give it to him, and sorry, Nick, but you understand, bro. It's like, shoot, you know what it is, bro. No, you know what it is. Everybody,
right.
Understand.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought that just kind of like, really sucked. But but in any rate, man, that was the slam dunk contest. Not question, Hova. Do you think that there's room for the slam dunk to get better or more creative? Or do you? Or should they just cut it all together? It's like we've seen it all. Most of the fans have seen it all. We don't need to see it no more. It's boring. It's just they don't know how to judge, right? Just cut the whole thing and we ain't missing it. Or should they try to revamp the slam dunk contest? Either make it more creative, get more participants, or get more named players, or what?
Yeah, I don't think they should cut it out. I do think they need to, maybe revamp it or, be a little bit, get something else to make it more of, people want to tune in and watch it. You know what I'm saying? Here's a great idea. Maybe they ought to have where instead of, okay, we're gonna let the guys, out of the dunks, we're gonna let them be creative, and they have maybe a couple of dunks they can do that are creative, but then there are dunks that are mandatory dunks. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody got to do the same dunk. And maybe I mean, have like maybe 2 or 3 mandatory dunks that everybody have to comply to. Of course, we're gonna allow the creativity for the players, but I think if we had some kind of where the judge can maybe even interact with that even more, where they come together and say, okay, this is a mandatory dunk that the judge voted on that they want each guy to do.
Yeah,
You
it's like
know,
it's like a game of horse.
like a game of horse. It just I think it kind of raised the stakes. It just makes it more interesting than. I mean, I get all the creativity. Don't get me wrong. I don't want you. You don't have to take that away. You're gonna allow because that was that is a big part of it. But I think maybe they ought to have along mixing in. Because if you look at it, I mean, here's a good example of this: the 3-point contest. There's no creativity behind the 3-point.
Mm.
The 3-point contest is just they put the balls in you have so many balls in each container or each buckets of balls, and all the players line up and go to each one and shoot the ball through the hoop.
Yep.
And there's no creativity behind that.
Nope, it's simple math. You make it or you don't.
It's very simple. You either make it or you don't, right?
Yep.
But it works.
Yep.
It works. I mean, I'll probably tune in and watch that more than anything. It works.
But it's the only thing that hasn't changed since they made the 3-point line. Since they made the 3-point line, it's the only part of the NBA contest throughout the years that has not changed because it works. So, and I agree, and I think the skills contest is becoming that. But I agree with you with the slam dunk. I agree to a point, man. I agree. I think that, okay, in the last ditch effort to make this thing work, I think it is important to go ahead and say, okay, let's have a game of horse. So, based on lead judge or somebody, Dominique or somebody, I think it's fine. Like, look, in order for you to get through the next round, you got to do these dunks. No redos. You got to be on the first one. so it's like, so let's put it this way. Every time you mess up, that's a 5-point deduction. So if you miss the first one, that's 5. You miss another, that's another 5.
Maybe, and then two, we can even go further than that. I mean, have more fan interaction. I mean, with all the contests.
Something.
I mean, have more fan interaction. You see, like during the football season, even the college games, they have interaction with the students where you have 2 students out on the field throwing a ball through the football through through a hole or something to get tuition money. But at least you got some kind of interaction with the fans. Even if they did that, they don't have no. Think about this, Brad. During the contest, during that All-Star weekend, all the skill sets outside of the the fan participation is sitting there watching it. But you don't know. I mean, unless I'm missing something, but I know I had never seen anything with those contests having a random fan come out and participate. I think that would make it even better too. You have that in the play.
I mean, but as a spectator, I mean, I think the fan experience is it lives up the fan experience. But I mean, if you're watching it as a spectator, just kind of like.
But it's All-Star. It's all about fun. It's nobody, it's just all about fun. I think you ought to have some kind of fan participation other than spectating and say, hey, he made a great dunk, or hey, he making all these shots. You can have some kind of participation with the fans. Within the even have a contest where it's the player and the fan. Have some kind of way where they collaborate together in some random. I don't know how they would do it, but I'm just saying I think it would definitely bring more people into, or even the random person out there who doesn't really even watch basketball to probably tune in.
This is kind of how I see it. I see a mix of the two. I see a mix. I see a mix of the first round being okay. It's a little strict, right? These are required dunks. Dominique called a dunk. Vince Carter called a dunk. Dr. J called a dunk, and you got to get it. And every time you miss one, that's points. Where it be 2, 3, 4 points. There's points deducted every time you miss one. The highest points move on to the next round. Next round, a little bit different.
Yeah.
Okay, so this round you can be creative, but you can't use no props. Okay, and the thing about it, I think when it gets to the second round or third round, my idea of fan participation is the millennials, and millennials like to be on their phones and their computers and tablets and voting. Voting is the ultimate thing that everybody do. You know, everybody love voting for American Idol. Everybody like to vote for all The Voice, all these big time reality talent shows. America's Got Talent. Everybody like to do that. You got millions and millions of people that get on Twitter and all these things to vote. And so if the NBA work with Twitter and you get to the second round, all right, it's about fan participation. And so the fan participation is who get the votes on the best dunks. And so that second round is you created, but you can't use no props. Third round, if you make it through, then you get your point, and it's based on votes. Fan votes move you around. You take the top 3, 4, however many people is there. Top 2, however many. This one is full board. You can do whatever you want to use, props, whatever you want to use to be as creative as you can be. Then the fans gonna vote again on who the best. That's your fan participation right there. That's all millennials doing anyway. Just plug on their phone and vote on what's good. You get creative, but you kind of gotta, make it a little bit interesting instead of just, because it's too. I think right now it's too much out there. It's kind of like they've always left it so wide open but I think that starts too early. So I think that maybe some kind of way you want to kind of structure it in such a sense to where, okay, there's a thing, or you can do a thing, a horse, maybe all to do, you call a dunk, and whoever in the lead, that's the lead man who got to get the lead dunk on whatever he do. Everybody else got to do. If you don't, as horse, you lose out. Bam, you go down to the next guy until you up out of there. Horse, or you ain't got to call it horse. You can call it something else until you X out 3 X's or something like that. I don't know, but I think there are different ways and how you can kind of restructure it, score it, and then at the very end of the contest, fan participation can be, voting in terms of who they think is the best, who's the best dunk out of all of those. And so I think that adds to it, but I think the other part of it is how do you get players to participate? Maybe it's got to be more money.
Right. But
You know,
but real quick on that though, it's interesting you said American Idol. Um, do you know who actually won American Idol?
nope, not
Me
the newest one. Nope, nope,
I just thought about that. I mean, is anybody really even watching American Idol anymore? I
not
don't
the new
know.
one. Yeah, not the new one. I think the new one has got a couple million folk watching it, but
But you got Lionel Richie and Katy Perry and I don't know who's the other
yeah,
guy.
I
But
don't know who the new. I don't even know who the new judges are.
has that show actually really ran its course? Really?
It
I mean, really though, is anybody really paying attention? I mean, I guess people are paying if you got a million viewers or
Well,
tuning
yeah,
in.
they got a couple million, but it's nowhere near. I mean, when American Idol first started, American Idol had as many as 20 million people watching it.
Yeah,
Yeah, about 20 million people or close to a give or take on a consistent basis. And I
but
think that his last season it had 7 million. Its
yeah,
last season.
I
So
I, I was just thinking about that. I know I kind of changed the tune. We were really kind of going on the sports, but
yeah,
I just thought about that. I was like, is anybody really paying attention to that show anymore?
it's gone through different generations because you got, when it first started, I mean, you got people that were, American Idol's been on for years, and you got people that were young people themselves when they first started, and now they are full-fledged adults and got children themselves that are watching. So you got some kids like, I wasn't even born when Claire Aiken and Ruben Studdard were going on, and when Kelly Clarkson won, you had kids like I wasn't even born then that are
Right,
participating. So it's kind of weird, but I think it has run its course to a point to where kids are like, well, shoot, my parents watch that. I don't watch it. I watch The Voice, or I don't watch any of that. I watch something else. And so, but yeah, with fan participation and those kind of things, I think the reason we bring those shows up is because they are very popular, and people use Twitter and use different forms of media to go ahead and vote for who and what they like for whatever reason. They
Yeah.
like, it's like, shoot, I'm voting for John Collins because he's a Hawk and I'm a Hawks fan and I think he got best dunks, that kind of thing. So I think there are different reasons, but at the end of the day, I think that you have to make it interactive to where you have to have a vote because everybody's in there voting for something.
Yeah, that's true.
It's everybody's in there voting for something and want to be a part of the process to where they make a difference. And so I think that you have to add that element to some extent to the slam dunk contest, and you have to have less of these judges, making final decisions because they don't take it seriously. A lot of the judges don't take it seriously. They having fun. Most of them drunk when they going through. They high anyway when they over there judging folks, so you can see them. So it's like they got to do better things with the All-Star game in terms of the slam dunk contest if you want it to be the last. Otherwise, either just get rid of it or just do it first, and have the 3-point contest last.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I'm on social media and everybody is criticizing. Everybody's a critic now. And so everybody criticize, oh, it's boring, it's dull, it ain't like it used to be. Oh, here we go again. They jumping over people again. Everybody's critical about everything about what's going on, and other than, well, what's the solution then? I mean, what do you want them to do? If you've seen it all, then what do you want them to do? I mean, what can they do based on what's out there if you've seen it all? And so these guys are doing the best they can to be creative, which I thought they were fairly creative. Most of them were just missing dunks. And so if not, it's like, shoot, man, just cut it then, and let y'all miss it for a couple of years before they bring it back. That's what I would do. I would try to be creative by using some different concepts and participation. And, if it doesn't work still, people don't like it, then I would cut out the slam dunk contest for about 5 years, until I said, and then it'll be big. Oh, NBA's gonna bring back slam dunk contest. Bam. That's it. I don't know. Maybe want to get sponsors involved. I don't know. I mean, I know you did before with Kia when Blake Griffin jumped over the Kia, but
yeah.
Man, he jumped over a car, but it was a Kia. Kia was, they had the smallest car. And he jumped over the hood of the car. It went like, it still was a good feat. I mean, I can't do it, but
Right, right.
but I'm sure a lot of high schoolers around Atlanta can do it. I'm sure they can. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the Saturday. What do you think about the All-Star game, man? I mean, we talked about it about Team LeBron, against Team pronounce his name, Hova. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah,
To
that's
the
close.
Kimpo, yeah, that's close enough. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
well, Giannis's team started out, pretty fast. They had like a double-digit lead, like damn near 20-point lead, and Team LeBron came back on their ass, man. So it was, my gosh, man, they scored with about over 300 points in that game in between both of them. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We know they're not playing in the defense. I mean, and I mean, it's just run and gun. It's that's about it. There's no, you don't even think about playing in the defense in those games. It's run and guns. It's a showboat.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it's entertaining, Brett. As always, you get a chance to see the big stars in the league and all that good
right,
stuff.
right.
Um, I think it actually has more entertainment value than actually even watching the NFL Pro Bowl, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA has done, a pretty good job with that. What I would like to see though, I think baseball has it right when it comes to all-star games. And I think I've told you this, is that because baseball says, hey, we have an all-star game, but it's going to count. And that does make a difference. And to be quite honest, I think even myself, I've actually tuned in just to see. And I'm not, but because it actually counts. And I think a
Right.
lot of people are doing that because it has meaning behind the game. And I think that's what the NBA and the NFL should try to work on, to
Yeah.
try to get or to restructure those games to where they're meaningful, because you get so much from it. even more. And I think people will, I mean, granted, it's entertaining and all this and that, but one thing I would think, like for the NBA, maybe they could have it to where having meaning to it is similar to same use the same format as the baseball, where um, if the East wins or the West, you're gonna get home field advantage. And I think I like that. I really like that. They use the same baseball concept.
True.
And I think it applied for NFL too. Um, you
Let's
know,
well, let's
but the
talk
thing
about that.
about it,
Yeah.
the only thing with the NFL
Mm-hmm.
though, I think maybe instead of actually having it to, I think it's have it to have some meaning to maybe which Super Bowl team will be able to play, because the way it's set up now, okay, in the NFL, New England and the Rams going to play again, right? But New England won, so you're going to play in New England, right? They're gonna have the game in New England because they won. Um,
Football don't work that way. You
that's
can do
true.
it with you can do it with basketball, but football is different.
Football is a little bit different. It may be a little bit yeah, I agree with you.
But football, that's just for me. That's kind of a different animal. I think you can kind of. I think basketball. I think basketball can mimic baseball because take it back to East versus West in basketball. Don't know all this team LeBron and all this kind of stuff. No. You so it's going to be East versus West, and East is really going to try and win this thing because it's like, look, we want home. It's not about your record, so it's about home field advantage. Who wins this game right here? And so it's like, look, if we can find a way, I don't care how many games that Golden State wins when they play Boston, or if they play Toronto, if they play what's another team that's doing well? Boston, Toronto in the East, Milwaukee. Just think about it. Milwaukee will have home court advantage against the Golden State Warriors in the championship, all because the East won the All-Star game. I
Right.
think that would be interesting in basketball. It'd be real interesting in basketball, and so that I think that gives a little bit of extra But think about this, Hova. I mean, do you actually want to see a lot of defense in an All-Star game? I mean, that's some of you. I mean, because if you think about and one Rucker, not really Rucker, but yeah, we're kind of Rucker. I mean, when you play All-Star games, I mean, you really ain't trying to see a whole lot of stifling defense like in a championship game. That ain't what you tune in for. You want to see them do some razzle dazzle, do what they do. I mean, you don't want no Olay defense, but at the same time, you don't want no, you don't. These guys, they've been playing defense for 83 games. It's like, they got one where, hey, we just gonna show off and show out on some of the things that we do in the gym and on the basketball court off season and just having fun. And we
Right.
don't score point, we shoot 3-pointers, we just do what we do best. And I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a big problem with it in terms of, because you don't want players to get hurt at the same time because they're out there busting their tails trying to play defense and stuff. So you don't want that kind of stuff going on. But for me, I'm like, at the very least, put yourself in position to get in the way or make it look like you playing. Just be a pawn to get in the way, and that's it. That's all I'm asking you. Be a pawn to get in the way. Try to steal every now and then. Get your block shot if you're a block shot, if that's what you do best, you get that in there. But otherwise, I'm not expecting to see a whole lot of defense in these games. I don't have a real big problem having an up and down game where these guys are scoring, got some cool dunks, cool shots. I mean, if you look at the end of the game, I mean, that was the craziest. I mean, Steph Curry had two of the most amazing plays in the game. That the very last play in the game, like, damn, Steph can actually dunk, And then that bounce pass dunk he sent the dog on that bounce alley-oop dunk he sent to Giannis. That was sick. I swear that was sick. So That's what I want to see. And if I got stifling defense, I can't see them kind of dynamic plays by these great athletes. I want to see these great plays by athletes that you very seldom see in a regular season game, if at all. So that's what all-star games, in my opinion, should kind of sort of be about. I like to see the up and down game and, guys playing loose and having fun. I like that. It's a pickup game. So, it's just, it is kind of what it is. I mean, that's what Ann was doing anyway. They made money off of that. Guys going up and down the court. That's what people want to see. So I think they're pretty much giving you what they want to see.
I get your point on that. Yeah, I get your point.
But I think they need to take it back to the East West. And I like the idea, like you said, Hova, of really give them something to play for a little bit. So if you give them something to play for, that defense is going to be a little bit tighter. The effort's going to be a little bit different in terms of what you see between both of them if the winner.
Right. We definitely won't be seeing like 200 to 180 games and stuff like that.
No. But I agree, man. I think that and I really think that All-Star game, that I think if you make some tweaks, and let's talk about it, man. When you talk about if you're ranking the best All-Star games to the worst All-Star games, who's got the best and who's got the worst?
As far as the rankings?
Yeah, who you think got the best All-Star? I mean, collectively, who's got the best All-Star weekend and best All-Star game? Who's got the worst? Big four out of let's just say out of basketball, baseball, football, and hockey.
I probably have to say football has the worst.
You think?
I mean, really, the football is the worst, probably the best. I'm gonna go with baseball, even though I think baseball is simply because they have something, they're playing for something.
Yeah. I agree, and it's funny. I think that I agree, man. I think that football has by far the worst All-Star weekend. The Pro Bowl sucks. The game itself sucks. It's at an all-time low. I think that the weekend they really don't do much. There's some skill challenges throughout, but I don't think that. I think they should promote that a whole lot more than they do. But I think there's so much room, and I think it should be like the fastest man contest again during that weekend, or the strongest man, and so you get these big guys up there lifting weights and high jump, and all that kind of stuff, Olympic style kind of stuff. That's what I think their weekend should be, in that Saturday night should be about, but it's not. So they definitely have, but it's funny because with them to have such a bad pro, All-Star weekend, usually the Super Bowl, they go all out for that. Everybody watches the Super Bowl. There's not really World Series parties or basketball parties or hockey parties. I mean, everybody get together to watch them sometimes, but it's not, because there are multiple games. Super Bowl is just one game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that's why. But yeah, I agree, and I think the best. I think hockey does the best out of all of them, in my opinion. And I'm not a big hockey guy, but I mean that I have seen from hockey. I mean, they have their All-Star game is great. Them cats be playing. They got the trick shots, man. They got so much stuff going on with how you. Oh, it's just good, man. I mean, if you don't watch it, if you don't watch anything else from hockey, watch their All-Star weekend. It is fun and it's fast, and and these guys, they be playing, man. They won't be, hockey is just hockey. They gonna play. You can't help but play and go full speed. They go full speed the whole time. So I think hockey's got the best. I think followed by baseball. I think the home run derby is great. Everybody want to look at the home run derby. I watch it all the time. I mean, I don't like Berman, doing the back thing. I mean, that gets on my nerves. We know it's going back. I don't need to hear it multiple times. Every time they hit one across the fence, he's back, 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 back. No, man, come on. So but I like it though. I like the home run derby. I like the home run derby better than I like anything in basketball has to do. And it's on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday. So so I like that. I like the celebrity game. I don't know if you watch the celebrity game for baseball, but the celebrity game is usually always pretty good. And the All-Star game itself, I think that was an interesting twist. That the winner has home field advantage for whatever team that makes it. I like it. And they don't go and they actually don't go extra innings, which I like that too.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to play. I like it. I think baseball does a great job. We just talked about basketball. I think that the 3-point contest for basketball is solid. I think that the skills challenge is getting better. But they need a lot of work for the slam dunk contest. And I think they need to cut back on the All-Star game itself. I think it just still needs to be East-West. I don't like these player kind of playground formats in terms of, let me pick this player, pick. Nah, man, just East versus West. Take it back to old school and make the stakes high. So if it ain't home court advantage in the championship, then it needs to be, more money.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Or they need more sponsors involved with it. I don't know. So that's just my 2 cents on basketball, man. So that's my whole thing right there. So in closing, man, we talked a lot about basketball, man. But in closing, man, what you think about them Hawks, man? I mean, I think they're in kind of a tough spot, man. It's kind of
I mean,
they're never
I
gonna
mean,
suck that
but
bad, but they never,
but the young talent, they doing what they, you know, I they're young, man. They're hungry. I'm not really surprised, Brad. I mean, to be honest,
Yep.
that's what you're gonna get. When you get young guys, first time in the league or whatever, they're trying to prove themselves. So you're gonna get, so a lot of them, in most cases, you're gonna get their, they're gonna try to give their best game if possible in every game. So it kind of goes to what we talk about even with the NFL. When you have that young talent that's trying, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, these guys are trying to prove themselves. You know, they trying to stake their claim in the league. To say, hey, this organization did not. I want to prove to this organization they took a chance on me, and I'm going to give it my best. And that's
Yeah.
what any team, you always want to have that type of energy. You want to always continue to bring in that young talent, man. And that's one of the things. And I know I'm kind of going to the Falcons, but that was why the defense was exceeding all, was growing, and the guys were just, because that was Dan Quinn motto. He wanted to get that defense to be fast, physical. But what happened though with the
Yeah,
off?
but I mean with that, but that's Lloyd Pierce for the Hawks though, because
Mhm.
Lloyd Pierce for the Hawks, I think he's coaching his ass off. I mean, he coaching his ass off, man. Because ain't no guarantee. They ain't made him no guarantees. It's almost gonna be, and I hope not, but it may be a repeat of Mark Jackson. You remember when Mark Biggie was coaching
Mhm.
Golden State when Steph Curry first got there, and he had them boys playing. Everybody, ooh. And so the minute them boys got good, it's like they gave, it's like your service, we're not renewing your contract. Then
Yeah,
they
your
bring
services
Steve Curran.
your
Yeah,
services no longer needed. But
yeah,
here's the thing though. You bring up a good point. I mean, this guy, yeah, he's coaching his ass off. The guy, the team, the players, they're buying what he's selling. Um, and yeah, I mean, and he could get that raw deal like that. We don't know yet. I mean, and it
yeah,
may not. But one damn thing for sure is he's making a difference, and they're buying what they buying what he's selling,
Oh yeah,
and,
they definitely buying what he's saying. Selling.
yeah, man, and that's all you can ask for, and and we'll see. I definitely see good things to come with the team.
Yeah.
I can see that, particularly with what's going on with the talent they got, and then hell, and then in the next draft they're gonna have some another good job pick due to what went down with Dallas. Um, so yeah, man. I mean, the skies and it's gonna be looking good for the Hawks. I mean, definitely they're gonna be
Yeah.
a team. Kind of remind me of how Philly, before they came on the
Oh yeah,
scene.
that's why we got Lord Pierce. That's what he did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because he was behind a lot of the growth of young players. He knows how to communicate and coach up young players. That's a true skill and a talent. How do you get young players motivated to play? How do you get them to learn the game of basketball? Whether they're
yeah,
winning or not, the winning will come if you're doing it the right way. And so, Lord Pierce is doing an awesome job with the Hawks, which nobody saw coming. Nobody saw that coming. So I think that with Big John Collins, Trey Young, Torian Prince is doing his thing, man. And in the trade, and we didn't go out there. We actually got rid of Jeremy Lin, which was dumping salary, and he got a better situation. And we just stocking money. We just saving money and building money up under the cap as we go. So when it's time for us to go ahead and make a free agent splash, we'll be able to do that. So and these guys are playing, they don't quit. They come out there and they play hard. They beat LA, they beat the Lakers like what? LeBron who? So I think these guys are just awesome, man. In what they're doing in their growth process. I think that when you are in the rebuilding process, that's what you look for. And these guys are and you got 2-3 picks, possibly 3 in the first round next year. And so I it goes back to the Luka Doncic trade. It's about picks and how many first round picks that you can get. I'm watching the Duke North Carolina game now. One of these guys can be a Hawk. It can make a difference. But don't be surprised if the Hawks use one of those picks to get a guy from overseas, to get a big man who can shoot from overseas. Don't be surprised if the Hawks do that. You heard it here, Brad and Hova show first. You heard it here first. So Hova, let's move on. And that's one thing we got to figure out, this music thing, in order to get in these breaks in between, man.
Yeah, definitely we need to do that, and we'll maybe we need to run some more test runs to figure that out, man. But yeah, we do
Yeah,
need to figure out the
yeah,
break stuff.
yeah. Because what happens is that I mean, there's a way that we can edit once we're done, but when you're doing it live, there's no way to really kind of do it live. At least we just haven't figured it out yet. But if you edit, you can go ahead and add whatever you want to add, music, sounds, all kinds of stuff in there after you're done. But like I say, for live, live is just live. We here and making it happen.
Right.
And so we're gonna transition into some football. I know you talked about some Falcons and some things, man. But let me back up before we talk about the Falcons, man. Let's talk about Kaepernick. And NFL reaches a settlement with Kaepernick in terms of undisclosed, in terms of what they are. What you think about that, man, with the settlement? Some people are saying that Cap sold out. He ended up bearing down and he got hungry, so he sold out to the NFL. What you think about that, man?
Yeah, man. I mean Kaepernick, I the way I see it is, I knew that somewhere along the way they was gonna have to come up with some kind of grievance, something to come to a solution to what was going on.
Yeah,
I don't think he sold out. I mean, as far as I can see, Brett, I can see him. I can see him back. I can see him back in NFL, man, playing. To be quite honest, I mean, I
yeah.
really wouldn't be surprised that happened.
So you don't think he stayed out of football too long, and that he's a little rusty? Game them passed him by a little bit.
No, no, not at all. It's kind of like if you know how, if you know how to swim, someone throwing you in water, you'll figure it out. You haven't lost that knowledge of knowing how to swim. So just as much as he's an athlete, if
Yeah,
he condition himself and get himself in good shape, I think he can make anything. I think he can make it happen as long as he's in the right system. I
yeah.
mean, to be quite honest, like a Baltimore.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think that I don't think it number one, I don't think it's any of our business what this man put in his bank, you know, or the money he put in his pocket is not our business. Okay, I'm gonna start right there. None of our business. None there. What they say? None your business. That's on him and what he does and what percentage goes in his pocket. You got to realize. I mean, you know, this man being out of a job, and you know, it's on him. You know, it's on him. But he decided he wanted to go a different route. And he hadn't gotten paid really in a number of years, and so NFL, you got a nice little payday. But I think that when you say settlement, there wasn't Cap going to the NFL. Came to Cap in the read and got a settlement and say, look, man, this thing got to go away. We can't go another season with this stuff, man. Cap don't say a whole lot, but it's what he represents, and everybody else believes in him and backs him up on what because there's a lot of misconception about Kaepernick. It's like, well, this man, he did this, and he said he didn't say much of anything. He did, it's just, everybody understands why this man was kneeling. Everybody understands why and what it was, and the narrative, unfortunately, you have even the president that weighed in, that really kind of convoluted, kind of really what was really going on. This
Yeah,
man was kneeling because of social injustice. It was just enough was enough, and he wanted, he kneeled to take. He took a, he wanted to kneel to take a stand for something that
right,
he believed in,
right,
and nobody else was doing anything. He said, look, I got a platform, and he was quiet. It's not like he was out there raising his fists and yelling and spitting and brimstone. He not even wearing any paraphernalia. The man just kneeled down because like, no, America, we got a lot of work to do. And so I'm gonna let you know about kneeling because we got a lot of work to do. I'm not happy right now, and too many unjustified. It's just too many and too much, too many things. Sandra Bland. It's just too many things. Trayvon Martin. It's just too many. And so enough is enough, and that's all he was trying to say. We need, and I think it worked in terms of, hey, enough is enough. In terms of, say NFL's got to do more, and they're not doing enough. So I'm gonna do something. So I think that's what happened. Um, and NFL's like enough because even in the Super Bowl, you had a lot of artists backing out. A
hmm
lot of artists just backed out. We don't like. A lot of people are upset with the NFL in terms of how they dealt with it. Everybody felt that he was blackballed, which I think he was. And that was part of the settlement. And that and the NFL, they want to be in a position to where like no, we're not blackballing. It's just that it's just that but I don't know whatever they were saying, but it was so many quarterbacks starting in the league that was just worse than Kaepernick that should be on the couch. And instead of them being on the couch, they starting to getting paid an NFL salary started for an NFL team and can't even, hold Kaepernick's jock strap. That's how I feel about it. And
yeah,
everybody knows it. That is the problem. That is the collusion. That is the blackballing against Kaepernick. That everybody knew they had a problem with. That they took him to the side. Hey, let's talk about this. So but he agreed. He agreed to it. What terms I don't know because who knows what comes out of this for Kaepernick. Maybe he gets a job, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he goes out and uses that money for other causes. Maybe not, I don't know. That's his business. But it'd be interesting to see how things move forward. To see if his opportunities get better, to see if he can actually start for an NFL team. Now, some folks believe like, look, he ain't got it. Some people are up under the auspices that look, he wasn't like great of a quarterback when he was healthy. So he was backup. He came out, then he's a backup again. But sure, he was in San Francisco. He very well just San Francisco didn't have anybody else.
Right.
So Cap just chose to just say, no, I'm not doing it. And so it's his decision. And so now, and I know he wants to start in the NFL, and what I'm understanding is that Cap is kind of like, well, if I can't start, I don't want to play for your team.
Right.
That's just what I'm hearing. Other than okay, I just want to play. I take a backup role and wait my turn.
Right.
But it's not like it's kind of like Atlanta has a backup quarterback position open. It ain't like we're gonna get Kaepernick. Although a lot of Atlanta fans probably want him, but but that's not going to happen. Reality, that's not going to happen. So, in moving forward, I just think that'll be interesting to see if he actually gets a job as a result of some of this settlement that's going on between he and the NFL. And NFL, I'd like to be a fly on the wall. NFL, like, hey, we're gonna give you some money.
Yeah.
We're gonna open the doors, but when we open the doors and you get a spot on the team, we don't want your black ass kneeling. I can imagine the conversation went something like that. So we hire you, we let you back in the door. We don't want your behind out there kneeling. So again, throwing no black fist up, none of that. So we don't know no kind of signs of protesting. Can we trust you not to do that?
Right.
And for the settlement to be reached, you probably said yeah. I don't know. I'm just thinking, but look, man, you don't want to be. This is America. You got freedom of speech, but when you have an employer, I mean, how much freedom of speech do you actually have at your job?
Very limited. I mean,
not disclosing where we work, but we work for the government, so some form of fashion. So it's limited what you can say in terms of freedom of speech. There's some laws out there, some labor laws too, but the NFL is a private organization of NFL owners. They do what they want to do. You ain't gotta like it. It ain't gotta be fair. They can drug test, not drug test, blackball you, not blackball you. So what you gonna do? Sue me? But I've heard rumors that a lot of people, there's some rumblings that they want Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, to be the new commissioner of the NFL. Roger Goodell rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but at the same token, he stroked a lot of people the right way. That's why he's still the commissioner of the league. So, there's some yin and yang going on right there with him. But, that's just my little 2 cents, right? Adam Silver, I think that Adam Silver is too progressive, in my opinion, for the conservativeness of the NFL ownership.
Well, I mean, and I feel you on that. I totally understand what you're saying on that. I had a thought there, but I definitely agree with you on that though.
Yeah, I think that the NFL is full of a lot of old boys, old school, older white owners that kind of want to see things play out a certain way. They have conservative values, conservative ways of seeing things. Not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's conservative, and it's old school. and things change. And sometimes to be successful, you have to change with the times. And so I think that Adam Silver has realized that and coming. I mean, he really took the baton and started running full speed from David Stern. I think that Adam Silver is really. I mean, all of the I don't, it wasn't even protest. I think that all the messages that the NBA players wanted to send about what was going on in the world because they realized they have a platform. Adam Silver has allowed that. And I just think it's awesome in terms of what he's done. Cats want to wear hoodies. Cats wear hoodies. I can't breathe. All kinds of things. LeBron and a whole bunch of other cats. Speak out about don't like, and they don't get chastised for it. The ownership don't attack a lot of them, and you notice what happens if you got an old school owner like my man, the old owner for the Clippers. You remember what happened to him? So you have owners that come out there that's got old, and you got a couple of them out there. But the minute they speak out, they get them out of there, man. They vote them out, buy them out, vote them out. NBA, it's like, look, man, we're not going to have that kind of stuff out here. But if so, you keep it to yourself. So, and I think that, with the warm-ups in terms of how they've changed and with the hoodies and stuff like that, it's more urban wear. It's like, hey, if that's what our players are all about, then so be it. And so he allows a lot of these things to happen and for players to express themselves and to have platforms and to be involved, and they realize that a lot of youth listen to him and recognize him. And so he gives them a platform, allows them to have a platform to speak on these things. And that's what the NBA is about. Progressive world league and moving forward and forward thinkers. I love it, man. I applaud Stern in terms of how he runs it, but it's only because of the ownership, or the majority. I won't say all of the ownership, but the majority of the ownership in the NBA kind of buys into what the commissioner is trying to do. And Roger Goodell is just, ownership runs this. And it's just it takes a lot of work. I don't see them voting for an Adam Silver type of commissioner. I just don't see it. It's just not going to work for today's NFL. Too many old school owners, man. They got an old boy club, man, and it is what it is. Okay, it's an old boy club. It is what it is. So that's kind of how I see that, real quickly. Speaking of football, man, I mean, Falcons extend their contract with offensive lineman Ty Sombrello, 3 years.
Yeah.
Championship. Good move, Falcons. Go. I'm telling you, I'm turning over a new leaf, Hova. It's a new leaf, man. Championship. That's a big move, man. I mean, he may play with left guard, right tackle, made some good money too, starting money.
Right.
So, I don't know. We just got Fusco, whatever, picked them up from Chicago last year. Damn near half the line or the entire line got hurt. So this is what I don't get. Coach says, I only trust 2 guys on my line, basically my center and my left guard. That's the only ones I can speak on. But you turn around and you give starting money to your right tackle. Whew. Man, I don't know. What do you do when you kind of contradict yourself? It's like the coach say, I want one thing, and then you turn around a couple weeks later and do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, these folks getting paid. It's kind of like the Falcons in this little club, this little rascals club, man, and everybody they like get paid. They love Matt Ryan, so it's no question.
Yeah.
That he ain't gotta, it's no question. Just give him his money. Just give it to him. Give it to him early. Okay, we like Matt Ryan. Julio was unhappy. Let's give him a little cheese too. A couple years back, they fell in love with True Fun. Give him all the money. He's our best defensive player. All this stuff, man. Somebody giving somebody money. Somebody other than Arthur Blank. I know Arthur signs the checks. Other than Arthur Blank, somebody is saying, yeah, Arthur, that's a good idea. Let's make it happen. That's Thomas Dimitro. That's all I'm saying. The dude got to do something. You can't leave him harmless for nothing. But I'm just saying. And everybody else that they just let go, they just let them just go.
Yeah,
And now you're haggling Greater Jarrett over his cheese. They talking about franchising him, tagging him. But if you franchise him this year, he's gonna get worse next year. Because you're gonna have to pay his ass.
Yeah, but a lot of it is because Matt Ryan ties up a lot of the money. I mean, that's just the bottom line, Brad. I mean,
Ties up a lot of money
between him and Julio.
The cap is going up though, but I don't know
Yeah,
if it's gonna go. But I don't know if it's gonna go up enough to where it's gonna balance out to where you can afford to pay Grady what he deserves. And then you got Julio coming up and Debo next year. So I know it's going up, but I don't know if it's gonna be significant enough to where we can sign the players we need without going over the cap. That maybe it will, maybe it won't, but that's just something I just don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
So but yeah, so kind of gentler guy with the Falcons, man. Championship, at least Ty Sombrello knows the system. He's an experienced player. Is coming back. Even though Cutter is going to do something a little different. But I think we all agree that we got to get tougher on the line. We got to get tougher on offense. I don't know how you get tougher when you got the same mofos coming back. So got the same soft hombres coming back. So I don't know how you get tougher. I think the defense is fairly tough, but you got to get tough on the line. You have to. And if you don't, then I don't know how you do that. But I don't know how you do that with the same soft guys that you have. How do you do that, Hova? I don't understand. So I'm hoping that maybe these guys come back. We draft some guys and get one or two guys that we probably don't know in free agency. And we just trust our front office and our coach that all of a sudden they know what they're doing. And we get the championship because they know what they're doing and we don't know what we're talking about. We just guys that just watch the game and we have experience in terms of highs and lows of the team. And we pretty much seen a lot. I don't want to say we've seen it all, but we've seen a lot. And so we'll see if these off-season moves in free agency and in the draft actually work. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. And I'm gonna leave it at that. What you got, man? You got some Falcons talking, some AAF talk, man. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm turn over a new leaf, man.
Yeah, I think I got more AAF talk probably at this point. So speaking of Atlanta, we do have a team, the Atlanta Legends. They're part of the AAF. And the bottom line, they suck. I don't really see that team.
Let them know how you really feel, Hova. Let them know how you really feel, man.
Yeah, I mean they suck. Just the bottom line. If they do get a win, they might get a win. They may get 2 wins. Because there are some other teams in that league that suck. I can't really say anything positive about that team, to be quite honest. I'm trying to find something positive to talk about. But just for our listeners and viewers out there, if you're interested, they will be playing this weekend at Georgia State against Birmingham. So if you don't have,
how you just told everybody that they suck, but if you're interested.
I'm being funny right now.
Lord have mercy.
Y'all
see what I got to deal with right here. Y'all see what I got to deal with.
But really though. If you don't, if you're just a fan of football, regardless of how bad this team is. You may want to, go and patronize or be a participant of that game. Um. Anyway, I think that's about all I really had to say. I just wanted to get it out there that
Yeah,
the Atlanta Legends, they suck.
yeah,
Um.
but I will say this, Hope. I will say this. I would say, and it just came out. I think the league had to borrow with $200,000 to play players, and they have new ownership. They've gotten into some financial problems and some things like that, and so it's some questions already. Will they last? My thing is this. Of course, the caliber of players are not at the same level as the NFL. But this is what I think. They're kind of like a glorified practice squad. Some guys are ready. Few guys may be ready to move on and can contribute to a team, but most of them can't. But this is what I see. I like the rules of the game. I think the rules and the tone and the toughness of this league is old school NFL. All you missing is just the level of talent. But I think the toughness of the league is old school football. I love it. I like the way the refs ref the game. I like the no. We finally, NFL has been talking about no kickoffs. We finally get to see what that looks like. They think with extra points, they go for 2 points. I think those kind of things, the intangibles that the NFL has been playing with and talking about, they actually doing it. And so it's kind of like, even for rules, it's kind of an experimental league also for rules that the NFL is contemplating, and they're going ahead and moving forward with these rules. And I like them. I think it's a good game in terms of how it's officiated, a great game to watch. I like it. I think they got something good going, and the NFL should take note. I think the NFL is gonna end up I don't know if they're gonna purchase the league, but I think the NFL is gonna put a vested interest in the league. They're probably gonna have to end up saving the league, I think, because they show them on NFL Network, different channels and CBS and stuff like that. So
yeah. I mean, yeah,
so
yeah.
So I the NFL is already, they haven't been shy by saying, look, we kind of want to work with the AAF and use them as like, a minor league. It's like baseball or something like that, a basketball, which is fine. But I think that the NFL is going to have to kind of step in and kind of, say, hey, we're gonna front you some cheese and these are some changes we like to see. But I think the rules need to stay intact. I think the best thing, you don't have to watch the Atlanta Legends. Fine if you do, but you can watch any game really, and just watch it for how it's officiated in the rules of the game. That's all I'm saying about that, and you will be pleased. I think most people notice that about them, and that's the excitement of the game. Hard hits, slobber knockers, spit bubbles, snot bubbles, all that kind of stuff is involved. So that's why I like it. So I promote the league. That's a good thing.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. Um, we're getting close to around where we're past the 10:30 hour of the show, but due to we had some a couple of technicals early on, we run a little bit over. Um, so with that being said, Brad, I know we got on the rundown to talk a little bit about some entertainment and politics and things of that nature. Um, the Jussie, I think I'm saying his name, Smollett.
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 He's Smollett like a Smollett because that's you got Smollett all over his face for lying. But go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so those of you don't know, if you don't know, he's the um gosh,
He
yeah.
won the line boys from Empire.
Yeah, he's one of one of the stars of the show on Empire that comes on, and I actually don't even. I started watching. I don't even watching anymore. So it's been a
Yeah, yeah,
while. I couldn't tell you what's going on, but
yeah.
um, anyway, he so they did some investigating what happened to him. Getting he was on his way to Subway to get a sandwich early in the morning, and he
Hmm.
got attacked by some people, and that was
You,
supposed to
that
be
what he said.
white
That what he,
supremacy and all this kind of stuff. And
he said MAGA attacked him.
yeah, MAGA attacked him and all that stuff. And then come to find out, after further investigation, they found out all of it was a hoax and basically wasn't, he basically wasn't being truthful about it. So now breaking news on this story is that he possibly Brad can get, it said 1 to 5, I think it said how many years? I think it's 3 to 5, might be 3 to 5 years of
Ooh wee.
jail time because of this.
Ooh wee.
So here's my take on this story real quick. I think Smollett, when the story first came off, I'm gonna be honest, I really was skeptical about him. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yup.
The reason why I was skeptical, first of all, there's a couple of things. First thing of it is it was in Chicago, okay, right? And the time that it took place. I don't know, that somehow I just couldn't, I mean, because I can't really see, you know, some MAGA people coming at him at that in Chicago, and then in Chicago, really coming up on a brother,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you gotta really have some big kahunas because you don't know what you're rolling
Yeah.
up on. So
Huge.
that's number one. I mean, that didn't sound right. Just didn't that didn't make sense to me. Not to say something couldn't happen, but it just didn't. I can see maybe he's walking and he's going to get a Subway sandwich and he in the middle of Wichita, Kansas. Now they say, "Hey,
Yeah.
Smoke was in Wichita, Kansas. He was walking on this dark road to go to Subway to get him a Subway sandwich. Okay, maybe that might be believable.
Or Dundalk,
But
Baltimore.
yeah, well, I'm trying to get a better, maybe even in Boise, Idaho. I don't know, but not no Chicago. I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on, really. So that alone, I just had some skepticism. So for all this to play out the way it did, unfortunately, it doesn't. It just definitely doesn't look good for him. But
Nope.
it goes to my question is, Brad, and maybe you have the answer. Is why? You know, why was this done? Why did he go with this hoax and set all this up? Was he looking for some
Oh
kind of
yeah.
pub or?
It's coming.
I don't know what are your thoughts on that, Brett? I that's what I'm trying to figure out. It was
Look,
that some kind of action to
look, man.
politic wise that we don't know.
Look.
I don't know. You tell me. I that's what I want to know is why?
I think he gonna let us know. So I think that when the police start pressing, I think in the coming days we gonna find out why. Because police are like, look, this man is lying. So we going to get the bottom line, and we gonna interrogate him. And you know that, I don't think he gonna last 5 minutes through that interrogation before he start breaking down crying. But 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 the thing is, when we first heard about it, it's like we knew something was wrong. I don't care how hungry I am or where I live. I'm not going out at 2 in the morning talking about getting a damn sandwich. It- take my black ass to sleep is what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna wake up and go to Waffle House. That's what happens. That's what
Now you know what
that what ninjas do.
you
That's
know
what
what's funny.
ninjas do.
You know what's
Huh?
funny. What's funny with that statement is I can really that sounds believable actually. That really is believable. I believe that because I would do the same thing.
Damn, but you sleep at 2 or 3 in the morning. You sleep. No,
I'll
you gonna
sleep
get
through. No,
man. You
I'm
gonna
saying
get Grubhub, man. You gonna call Grubhub and get them to deliver you something to eat. You
correct.
gonna
I'm not out and it's cold as hell too. I'm
And the
not gonna
food.
I'm not gonna walk 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to no Subway to get a sandwich. I can tell you that right now. Not in Chicago and it's cold as hell.
Hell
I can tell you that right now. If anything, I'll put something together at the crib if I got some eggs or whatever before I actually,
There it is.
you
There it
know,
is right there.
you know,
If I'm
and a piece of toast or something before I actually do
exactly. If I there you go, Hova. There it is. Say it again, Hova. You doing what? You fix with some toast and what?
that. I've been on scramble them eggs up good. Throw me throw me 2 slices of bread in that toaster and call it a night. It'll
Call
be
it a
cold,
night, man.
and then I may make me a little cup of coffee just to top it off.
There it
Make
is.
it, and I'm done. That's
There's
it.
always something in the freezer.
So there's all correct. You always gotta have something in the freezer, in the refrigerator at that time of the night. I don't care what it means.
As much money as that
Always,
dude make,
as much money as he has, he should have he should always have a loaf of bread, some eggs, and you might even have a cup of sausage meat. I don't know, but
that's it.
you're gonna
Crackers,
always you're gonna always have something.
cereal, something.
Cereal. Hey, hold on, I forgot about the milk and cereal. But
Milk and cereal.
you're gonna always have something quick.
Something quick.
To
Some
put
green beans and
at that time of
something.
the night. At that time of the night, then walking 2 or 3 in the morning for a damn
Chip.
Subway. I could the further and further I'm thinking about it. There's no matter of fact, bro. I could tell you, there's no way in the hell I'm gonna walk 2 or 3 in the morning, cold as hell.
So they open at 3 in the morning. That's how they do it in Chicago.
Subway.
They open at 3 in the morning all night. They 24-hour Subway. Is that what it was? Damn. That's how they do it in Chicago. Wow.
Well,
okay. Wow.
Hey, the latest I went to a damn Subway is about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, they be trying to get you out of there, man. They're like, nah.
And that's about if I can recall, that's about the latest I ever went to one.
Yeah. They be looking at you funny, man. You go in there about 8:30, they be looking at you like, look, man.
And that's probably the only reason why I did that because I got off work late.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, no, I'm not.
No, the dude's story from Jump was funny as a $2 bill. It just was, and then you got Black Twitter that come out of there. They were the first ones to come out of there, man. Talking about, see, MAGA, I feel for you, Smollett. It's like everybody, everybody out there.
But what was interesting and how everybody was just kind of buying in, even the celebrities.
Everybody bought in.
I mean, they didn't give it no second thought, man. It was like, hey, we hope we would. I mean, granted, yeah, I get it. Okay, something happened, but come on. I mean, but really look at the tape. Listen, look at the story though. Really think about the story with this man. I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. It just It doesn't sound believable. I mean, if you really think about it, it doesn't sound believable.
Folks fussing mad because it's like I couldn't say nothing in social media. I like, man, that sounds funny. This thing, no Black Twitter jump on me, man. What if it happened to you? It ain't gonna happen to me because I ain't gonna be out at 2 in the morning for looking for a goddamn sandwich. That won't be me.
Me either. But here's and then here's the other kicker. And then when they went to investigating, he didn't want to turn over his phone or anything. He was being all, I mean, it wasn't adding up, man. And he drew suspicion to himself. That's why the cops was like, they were trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, say, hey, well, yeah, something could have happened. We weren't there, but
man,
at the end of the day, then obviously you keep hearing all these different type of stories, and as you and I always know, where there's smoke, there's fire. So it was just when you start getting so many different types of stories related to what this to this situation. But again, for me, I drew suspicion from the get-go, but just because I was like, wait a minute, because when in Chicago I think that really got me when they said Chicago. I was like, wait a minute. I don't know. Maybe Wichita, Kansas, maybe. The hell, maybe in the middle of Buffalo, New York or somewhere. But Chicago? I don't know. That don't sound. That sounds kind of fishy. But somebody mega gonna be walking up on somebody in Chicago. Really, Brad?
No.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying.
Montgomery, maybe, you know,
I
maybe,
even maybe Montgomery. I give it that.
you know,
Yeah.
Huntsville. I don't know.
Huntsville or some old backward ass,
You
But I'm
know, yeah, you know.
but not, that's almost kind of like, I don't know, man. Just didn't sound right. Just didn't
No,
sound
so I, so the big thing about it, man, it didn't sound right, from the jump for me. And but I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. See who turns up. And so surprise, you find out that he knew the alleged attackers, some big Nigerian brothers that were actually brothers that he knew on the set, that was staged. And and police is like, look, we spoke to these guys and we're done. There's no question, that they were innocent and they meant no bodily harm to this guy. They probably spilled beans, and who knows what else, man. I'm not gonna speculate. I'm not gonna go down the yellow brick road on this one. I'm gonna just wait. I'm not going down the yellow brick road. I'm just say, hey, the truth gonna come out in a couple of days, sooner than later, when police get hold of that ass. And but look, man, you need to tell us what's gonna happen. Because you're going down, but you need to tell us what the deal is. So
well, the way it looks right now, Brad, it looks like he's gonna get some jail time. I don't I don't I wish unfortunately, but hey, man, he didn't have to do it.
you didn't
I
have to do it.
mean, so that's why I said it goes back to what I was asking is that's
The
gotta
motive.
be it's gotta be a motive behind it as to what that is, but there's gotta be a motive behind this.
Yeah.
Maybe it was political, because he's part of that the LGBT community and all that kind of LGBT community, all that kind of stuff. So
Well,
I don't know. It could be something underlying on that. I'm not trying to say
it might be.
it could be. Who knows? But
Maybe.
at the end of the day, it was definitely some kind of motive behind
It's
his
gonna come out.
actions.
It's gonna come out
And
soon, man.
I believe it's gonna come out. I
He definitely
definitely
he's
I
definitely
definitely
want to
believe
make a
that.
point about something that he
I
didn't like.
definitely I definitely believe that. But he's not the only celebrity that has done something like this in the past. I can't think of nobody at the moment, but they've done something to draw some kind of publicity. And sometimes it was kind of a PR move. Maybe they had
Yeah.
some kind of product like a
Right.
movie or something, or are they just trying to get their
Yeah.
brand up or something
Yeah.
like
I
that?
mean, look. Kardashians do it all the time. Every time before the season start, something happen. Something go down with Kanye, or something go down with Kim, or something go down with one of the Kardashian folk. Like, I just heard about Tristan Thompson and one of the sisters, Kylie or somebody, I don't know, one of the Jenner girls, got a best friend that's been messing around with Tristan Thompson and all that kind of stuff. And so, not now that go down, but it's a coincidence that it happened just before the season but just before they about to start their new season, which is in a couple of weeks or days or whenever. When this
But
stuff
I
come on.
mean, but I don't know. I mean, even with that news, that's not new, is it? I mean, that's something he's been doing, right? He's
He was
been,
doing that long before he got married to big girl name, man. Well, she ain't big no more. She's just tall.
yeah, I know you're talking about
The sister Kim, you know what
Chloe.
I'm talking
Is it
about. Huh?
Chloe?
Chloe.
Yeah,
That's the
Chloe.
name. Yeah, that one. So it's like, look, she knew what the deal was a long time ago. So ain't nothing new. She knew what she married.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
he was a bum on the court. He was a bum off the court, and so she know what she got. And,
correct. So yeah,
but like I say, it's just stupid to just deal with somebody like that so close to the family. Like, I mean, just stupid to do anything like that. Period. I mean, once you're married, you're married. I mean, how hard can it be, to stay faithful? It should be simple. You just move on. You be an adult, but to sit around and You just had a newborn baby with Chloe. Then you gonna turn right back around and throwing being a hoe. You're like, come on, dog.
Man, but
We ain't in high school no more.
but see, that's the thing about it. You bring up a good point on that. I think a lot of brothers have to understand, man. I mean, sometimes, man, we gotta, we wonder why a lot of cats be wound up in situations, you know, incarcerated and other things of that
Yeah,
nature because of not thinking with the right head. You know what I mean? So it
yeah,
just, you know,
yeah.
you gotta somewhere along the way, man. You gotta be an adult situation.
Gotta be an adult.
You gotta be an adult, man, and think with the right head.
Yep, right one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I mean, that's always been a thing where we gotta be able to get past that. And a lot of time, man, we don't. We put ourselves in these situations, and then we wondering why. Wow, man, what happened? It was a bread. It was a trap all along. You know what I'm saying? And you fell for it. Now you caught up in something else. So yeah, we gotta, brothers gotta be able to realize, man, especially in his situation, with him having the money and the fame and all this and that, um, to go about his business a whole lot different, man, a whole lot better. Just as a whole, just I don't know, but things do have to change in that sense. Bird, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm listening, man. I had to do some adjustments.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
man. But yeah, man. So we're coming up right around 5 minutes to 11. So
yeah, yeah. That's the old bread and Hova. That's the old school bread and Hova time right there.
hey, real quick. Atlanta United.
Yes.
They got a big game tomorrow. Tomorrow that game is coming on. It's gonna be like they playing in Costa Rica, and so um that game is not gonna air until 10 o'clock. So
Yep.
it's gonna be. So I'll I'll watch as much as I can and probably have to record most of the rest of it because I'm pretty sure I'm probably not gonna be able to watch it all.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. It's they're playing Erdiano. And
yeah,
yeah, Erdiano tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and Costa Rican club based in the district of San Francisco of all of all places. There was San Francisco down there too. And so this is big though. You have about 5 MLS teams that's involved in this tournament. And so it is a lot of these guys, you're down there, you're on their home turf, and this is it. You get a chance to prove it. They got a lot to prove too. So it's like, it's like this is our livelihood. And this is MLS, and you can't let an MLS beat you, not on your home turf. So they got a lot to play for. It's gonna be tough. But I think our guys are looking forward to it. This could be big because you win this cup. This means a lot. Everybody's in here. This is Champions League, so some of everybody's champion is in here, and so you can really make a stand or how good you really are. So I think that all odds would be on five stripes. If they get past this, it would be good. At least get a tie or a win, but it would be great to I they'll be playing in Kennesaw, so this thing progresses. They'll be playing in Kennesaw State University, but it holds about what 15-20,000 people in comparison to being at the Benz, and it was a crazy scheduling conflict. The way you got some monster truck crap going on. You don't want to call it crap, but you got some monster truck stuff going on. Instead to where, I just know that monster truck's not gonna fill out 80,000 people or 70,000 people like Atlanta United. It's gonna be crazy. So 15,000, man, is gonna be it's just not large enough to hold all that. But it is what it is, man. So I just want the team to win. I think we have a very good chance of going deep and into the Cheviot. So I just can't wait, man. I think we have a very good chance of really just winning this thing, or at least being in the championship of it. Most of the teams who win this thing have been pretty much in Mexican teams. And I don't think an MLS team has won since LA Galaxy, but I think rules were different back then when LA Galaxy was playing. So, Atlanta United hopes to be the first one since then, since the rule changes to win it. Since I think we got a real good chance of winning, man. I hope so. If not, that's fine. At least to get the experience. But I think it means a lot to the game. I think it means, because the thing about it, you're not just playing for the club, but you're also playing for MLS.
Right.
You're playing for American League Soccer, and they say, hey, we need to move up in the rankings, because right now you MLS is kind of in the middle. Worldwide, MLS is like in the middle. It ain't the bottom half, but it's damn sure in the top half. So it's kind of like
that's
like
true.
in the middle. MLS is the middle, and they're just trying to get to the upper crust of the middle, at least. And so winning the tournament here will help that a whole lot. So, we wish our Five Stripes, the best of luck in that, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's all I got on that. Hova, what you got on it, brother?
Yeah, man. I'm good on that. Like I said, go United, man. And
Yes.
yeah, definitely. And that puts us right at the 11 o'clock time, man. So
Yep.
I want to just thank the viewers and all the other listeners out there for tuning in tonight,
Yes.
as always. And again, we're gonna, we're still working out the kinks. But I think one thing I can say, we are getting more comfortable in doing the show on this platform so far. So just kind of bear with us, and
Oh yeah.
we're definitely going to try as we go forward to improve the show, and also where we can take calls and things of that. So we'll see how it go. But at this point, just bear with us.
Yes, sir. So, all right, man. And that will pretty much conclude our show for tonight. Like Hova said, bear with us. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Don't be afraid to chat. Let us know what you want us to talk about, what you think about the show, how you like us, how you don't like us, whatever. We just be glad to hear from you. So, thanks for tuning in, and we see y'all next week.
Speak on it.
Speak on it.